Everyone's least favorite review show is now available on video.
You gotta be kidding me!
Experience the fun.
I got a new microphone! Yeah!
The drama.
I will never go back.
And the excitement, all from the comfort of your own home.
Why don't you come on inside and we can watch these episodes together?
More mediocre reviews are coming to a video store near you. From Scale Lab Home Video.
I can dig it.
Thanks for joining us for this special preview. And now, our feature presentation.
Hello! Welcome back, everybody. Now, if there's any... Okay. Now, if there's anything I've noticed from looking back at my You on Kazoo and Get Up and Dance videos, you guys really seem to like watching me talk about weird stuff. Well, from my perspective, there's no better place to go for weird stuff than the world of advertising. Before we had the convenience of online shopping and streaming services, our only major source of entertainment was TV. Hell, it's even where we used to get music videos from. Yeah, remember that? As a kid, I was practically glued to that friggin' box. So when I wasn't sleeping or on the toilet or sleeping on the toilet or
Sitting on the toilet!
I was watching stuff like Ed, Edd and Eddy on Cartoon Network, My Life as a Teenage Robot on Nickelodeon, and I don't know, The Buzz on Maggie. What really stuck with me the most from watching that much TV was the commercials that played in between these shows. I grew up during that slow turn into the new millennium, when the 90s were trying to die, but everyone just kept milking it until there was nothing left. It was an awkward transitional period, to say the least, and it showed in the way companies marketed their products. So today, loyal viewers, we're going to be taking a trip through the realm of weird commercials from, let's say, the early to mid-2000s. And before anyone brings it up, yes, I know that the Nostalgia Critic has already done a bunch of videos talking about commercials, but I just thought it was a fun idea. And frankly, I don't care if it's already been done, I still want to give it a shot. So, what do we got first?
Here's a classic. This commercial's for a set of kids' swimming gear called Super Swimmer Shark Gear. It included a pair of goggles, a pair of gloves, and a pair of flippers, all with a shark motif.
Wet gloves for turns and speed, and shark fin flippers for torpedo power.
This kid's clearly selling it as he goes about scaring this girl, who I presume is his sister. Wow, she looks utterly terrified. I mean, her scream was really convincing. There totally wasn't a woman in her late 30s dubbing her over. That is genuine terror. Might as well put the Wilhelm scream over it. I don't recall owning this gear when I was younger, but I do remember watching this commercial. This seemed like a pretty cool product. Sure, it made you look more like the lead in a superhero-themed direct-to-DVD Jaws ripoff, but as a kid, I probably would have liked it. And at least the commercial gave us a precursor to the Wakanda salute.
Wakanda forever! Super Swimmer Shark includes mask with underwater goggles, web gloves for turns and speed, and shark fin flippers. Available at all major toy stores.
I'm Chelsea, Nick, Kiki, Xander.
Ordinary students or citizens of
Postopia!
Oh, dude, Postopia, let me tell you. This was back when companies were trying to make the internet cool for kids. You know, they'd make websites that have their own cast of characters and stories that you don't really pay attention to, you're just there for the games. Valley National Bank had something similar to this, but I only vaguely remember certain aspects of their site. Postopia definitely stuck with me more. There was a Flintstones game where Fred was in a bobsled going down a mountain and you had to collect spoons. And there was a sort of adventure game starring the Waffle Crisp mascot. Oh man, Waffle Crisp was like one of the greatest cereals ever. Oh, so delicious. This commercial doesn't really convey the benefits of visiting the website very well. It seems to focus more on these reject planeteers and their mildly exciting escapades. How did they even explain this to their parents?
Xander, where have you been?
Well, I was out with my friends flying through an asteroid field, searching for buried treasure at the bottom of an ocean in space, riding snowmobiles around the planet Hoth, and building our own robots, which led to us accidentally creating Ultron, who enslaved all of mankind and conquered the universe.
I'm never letting you eat another bowl of Fruity Pebbles again.
Speaking of cereal, here's a commercial for Honeycomb.
What? Me want honeycomb?
Oh god, 3 videos in and we're already getting weird. Okay, so this was part of a series of other commercials where the basic premise involved kids turning into monsters in search of their favorite honey-flavored cereal. The idea of kids turning into monsters was surprisingly pretty common in commercials back then, but these hyperactive honeycomb hairballs were probably the most famous. Or maybe infamous would be more appropriate. In this commercial, a group of kids are staying in a cabin in the woods, that's too easy, and one of them goes out to get a box of honeycomb from their van. But the vehicle's surrounded by bears, so he decides to dress up as Goldilocks to lure them away.
Way to go, dude.
I can only imagine the effect that dressing up as a little girl while in the form of a mutated Austin Powers wig can have on a kid at that age. I mean, I turned out fine. At least, that's what my therapist told me.
Here's another old favorite. This one's a commercial for Kirby Canvas Curse on the Nintendo DS, a game I haven't played, but from what I understand is pretty decent. Though I'm willing to bet there wouldn't be nearly as many people talking about it now if it weren't for this ad. What makes it so memorable then? Is it the cheery music? Is it the costumes courtesy of KCL Productions? Nope. It's because of this finger in Birkenstocks. A finger with feet, now that's confusing.
Such a wonderful day when the sunlight came.
Lots of people call this a cursed video, but I don't see what the problem is. There's nothing wrong about it at all. It's just Kirby spending a nice summer day with a naked Thum Thum from Spy Kids. It's completely innocent. There is one thing that bothers me.
Now you can use your finger to keep Kirby on the right path and out of trouble.
Then why are you showing someone using a stylus? That's not a finger. I can't pick my nose with that. Well, I could, but then it would get stuck and I'd probably die or something. Moving on. Oh, I already know what's coming. What I'm showing you now is one of the first commercials made for Six Flags as part of their newly introduced It's Playtime campaign. This old man steps out of a Six Flags bus in the middle of a boring old white bread neighborhood, and he seems pretty average. But then, the music starts. Which I had to replace because of copyright, but oh, look at those moves! Everyone is so mesmerized by this, with this guy possibly getting turned on, that it allows the man to easily lure them onto the boogie bus, and they make their way to Six Flags for a day of non-stop fun. This campaign must have been super effective because Mr. Six here would go on to appear in various other commercials and serve as the unofficial Six Flags mascot for years. But disappointingly, that's not a real old man playing him. It's actually Danny Thiessen, a professional choreographer who's primarily done work for Disney Channel. I can never watch Shake It Up the same way again knowing that. Actually, I just wouldn't watch it anyway. I loved Six Flags growing up, and the commercials played a big part in that. Watching them again really brings me back, and they just put me in a good mood. With their bright tone, iconic visuals, and pleasant atmosphere, I can always count on the Six Flags brand to put me at ease.
It's my money, and I need it now!
And then we get commercials like this.
It's my money, and I need it now!
It's my money and I need it now!
It's my money and I need it now!
It's my money and I need it now!
You guys think these people need money? Because I'm thinking these people need money. Okay, so at first I just assumed these people were all involved in some sort of collective drug deal and somehow they all owe each other money. But then it turned out that this was actually a commercial for a financial service company called J.G. Wentworth. I'm not a financial service expert, so that's as much as I can tell you. My favorite parts of the video are when it cuts to these people screaming out their windows. There's so many of them that I keep expecting Stan Lee to pop up at some point.
It's my money and I need it now!
It's my money and I need it now!
Don't make me come down there, you punk!
In fact, why limit it to windows? I bet we can take it a whole step further.
It's my money and I need it now! It's my money and I need it now!
It's my money and I need it now!
Ding dang darn it, I fell off the roof. The problem is, if we did that, we'd be straying farther and farther away from what the point of this ad is supposed to be. Even then, it still doesn't really do a good job telling us what it is they're trying to accomplish. Maybe I'm just not paying enough attention, though can you really blame me? But before I took the time to look him up on Google, I had no idea if J.G. Wentworth was an insurance company, law firm, or anything. Then again, maybe having people in your commercial scream, "We're a financial services company focused on providing direct-to-consumer access to financing solutions," wouldn't have made people want to watch it. Let's see if the next one's a bit more straightforward.
Breakfast! Morning, Grandma.
Morning, dear.
Oh, goodness gracious. You know those memes where someone puts a picture of what they think they look like next to a picture of what they really look like? And sometimes they do this to exaggerate how ugly they might feel? Well, I normally don't think there is such a thing as ugliness, but if these people existed in real life, I would feel way better about myself. Now, that's actually the mascot for Jack in the Box, which is what the commercial is for. And man, the female side of the gene pool must be shallow in this family, because the kid, the dad, and the grandpa all have those comically oversized heads. Is this what eating at Jack in the Box does to a person? The food looks pretty good, but if it's gonna turn me into Mr. Skullhead from Animaniacs, then I'm not touching it. Were they even born like this? And did they all come out of the womb wearing little yellow hats? Like, is that something that's actually a part of them?
Mom, the nearest Jack in the Box is 100 miles away.
Did I ever tell you how difficult your birth was?
Oh God, no, please, I was only kidding, don't say anything else. This is another commercial that raises too many questions for me. But while the previous one was more about what was being advertised, here my questions come more from the world in which the commercial takes place. If the family was going to get breakfast from Jack in the Box, why is the table already set? Isn't that something you should do after you get the food? Why is it that the exterior of the house is a log cabin, but the interior is a typical suburban home? How do they even get electricity? They live in the mountains. And if they can easily get to and from there in a pickup truck, then why do they need a helicopter? 100 miles is about a 2-hour drive, so I guess it's faster. But instead of letting Dad go pick up the food and bring it back, why don't they all just go together and sit down to eat at the restaurant? And why do stars fall down from the sky every time you walk by? And will you still need me? Will you still feed me? When I'm 64?
Wait, what was I talking about? Oh well, on to the next one.
Drank a lot of water. I really have to go. People are waiting to tee off, and there's no restroom out here.
Guys, how many times has this happened to you? Come on, you know you can't hold it in that long. Don't worry, I've got the perfect gift for you. Introducing the Euro Club, the discreet sanitary solution for your urgent relief. Created by a board-certified urologist, it looks like an ordinary golf club, but it contains a special reservoir built into the grip to relieve yourself. The Euro Club comes with a special towel to keep your privacy, and it appears to everyone that you're just checking out your club. At first it seems comical, but believe me, when you really have to go, it's a lifesaver. Sanitary, leak-proof, easy to clean, and no more embarrassing moments in the bush. Dramatically improve your golf scores for only $49.95, and when you order now, get a second Euro Club for half price. That's 2 for only $74.92. Club now at 866-999-4EURO. That's 866-999-4EURO. The Euro Club, the only club in your bag guaranteed to keep you out of the woods.
Okay, I understand. It's a golf club that you can pee in. Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, why urinate in one spot when you can have something to put it in and carry around with you?
I guess I can sort of see the upside to it, but that's just nasty.
The Euro Club comes with a special towel to keep your privacy, and it appears to everyone that you're just checking out your club.
Oh yeah, as long as you ignore the obviously suspicious-looking green towel. This just boggles my mind. It's supposed to be a more convenient alternative to using a bush or a tree to do your business, but How is sticking your wiener in a tube, let alone a golf club, any better? If anything, it looks even worse. Some people might be against the use of nature as a second bathroom, but if there aren't any toilets or porta potties in sight, then, well, you know, desperate times call for desperate measures. You might not agree with it, but you get why it happens. The Euro Club is like tinkling into a cup, taking that cup around with you, and using it to play golf. It's stupid, impractical, and just plain gross.
Dude, put that thing away. They're like children here.
Here we go. Something wholesome-ish. I saw this commercial on TV a lot when I was a kid, but shockingly, I, as a 9-year-old boy, was not that big into Barbie. At least she's not promoting a product related to substances coming out of one's body.
Excuse us.
Oh, come on. In hindsight, it's kind of funny watching this again. Barbie is a toy brand that tries to promote the idea that girls can be whatever they want to be and do whatever they want to do. Does Mattel think there are girls out there that really want to clean up after their dogs? And really, don't we have enough potty training toys as it is? Puppies, babies, Sesame Street characters. When will it end? These were so common that I'm surprised there wasn't a Demolition Man tie-in with a Sandra Bullock doll and 3 tiny plastic seashells. Potty training is important when raising kids, but even back then I thought this was bizarre. And there were so many of them too. I'm not trying to make a big deal out of this, I'm just confused and slightly creeped out.
I'm hardly scratching the surface when it comes to weird TV commercials. For all I know, there's probably hundreds more out there that are even crazier than the ones I've already looked at. Well, after all we've been through, I'm not sure what else I can show that could possibly be worse. Like, what's the cringiest, most ridiculous video we can end on?
And now, the stars of 4Kids will sing the national anthem.
Oh, Lord, help me.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air,
Gave proof through the night
that our flag was still there.
Oh, say does that star-spangled
Banner yet wave
o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Happy 4th of July from all of us at 4Kids TV.
Where do I begin?
Generally, it's typical for kids' TV networks to do these kind of bumpers for different holidays, but while there's usually very little effort put into them, 4Kids managed to make it seem as if they hardly tried with this bumper, and yet somehow tried too hard at the same time. They recorded a bunch of their voice actors singing the American national anthem as their characters, and they edited clips of their characters to make it look like they're actually singing. And I would not have expected such an operatic voice to come out of Splinter. But I hardly know some of these other shows, so I'm not sure if their voices are real or if they were taken from some parody videos on YouTube. And you know it's embarrassing when even YouTube parodies have better production values. This is some of the most hilariously bad editing I've ever seen. Ignoring the fact that the lip sync is about on par with a Dragon Ball Abridged episode, look at this last shot. Everyone's positioned in such a horrendously put together way. This cat girl's lower body is completely gone. This guy's arm is cut off, and they couldn't even be bothered to move Sonic more to the left to hide the cropping. Whew, there's just so much to take in with this. Four Kids might have made a lot of questionable choices before, but with what they did here, this might be their crowning achievement, and whether that's a good or bad thing is completely up to you. It fails on so many levels, but there's still an innocence to it that I've got to appreciate. You ever see that video of the kid dressed like a State Farm agent doing an interpretive dance about the 4th of July?
The men who made us completely free of British tyranny. This our home, this our country that we love.
I should not be aroused by this, but for some reason I am. That's what this reminds me of. It's completely absurd and horribly executed, but its heart is in the right place, even if the characters are not.
Come to think of it, maybe this bumper is more in tune with the spirit of Independence Day than I thought. Lazily expressing pride and patriotism without promoting any real American values? Seems pretty accurate to me. So those are just some of the weirdest early to mid 2000s commercials I could find. This trip back through time had just about everything from nostalgia fuel to nightmare fuel, and it's a trip I won't mind taking again, regardless of any conflicting emotions that might come with the experience. Now I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone at home who sent in commercials for me to look at. Some of you are a little bit twisted, but I still love you all the same. And if there's a commercial that I didn't get to, but you wish that I had, well, if I ever decide to do a second one of these, then maybe I'll include it in that one. As for me, well, I think I'm gonna pop in this VHS copy of Toy Story and relive some more childhood memories.
From magical movies to unforgettable adventures, from the thrill of the theater to the comfort of your home, you can always count on something
excitement of
new.
Toy Story come to your home computer.
Terrific! Not bad!
Introducing Pixar and Disney's animated story.
Get
When
ready
he
for
shrunk
the
the
Mighty
kid,
Ducks!
he promised his shrinking.
It would appear that I've caught a case of nostalgia-ria. So this is what it feels like.